fabled heat, where magic meets desire. Subscribe to ignite the fantasy.
The rhythmic clatter of the eternal rail was a heartbeat against my skin, a constant metallic pulse that had defined my existence. It wasn't a comforting rhythm, not exactly, more like a persistent question, a subtle vibration that reminded me of everything I wasn't. Born within its opulent, velvet-lined walls, Elara had always felt contained. A gilded cage, some might say, but it was all I'd ever known. The scent of polished brass and aged leather permeated everything, a sterile fragrance that clung to my clothes, my hair, even my dreams. I traced the intricate floral pattern woven into the crimson upholstery of my seat, the silk cool and smooth beneath my fingertips. 22 cycles. 22 years spent traversing the endless expanse between the skylands and the sunken cities, never truly asterisk in asterisk either. Until Reese. My breath hitched a small, involuntary tremor. His gaze, the color of storm clouds gathering over a turbulent sea, found mine across the observation car. It wasn't a look of invitation, not precisely. It was a silent challenge, a measuring assessment that felt both invasive and intoxicating. A slow burn ignited within me, starting low in my abdomen and radiating outwards, warming my cheeks. I quickly averted my eyes, pretending to be absorbed in the swirling, iridescent landscape rushing past the panoramic windows. But the heat lingered, a phantom touch on my skin. And then there was Lyra, a whirlwind of dark, unruly hair and sharper edges, both physical and emotional. She leaned against the doorway to the engine room, arms crossed, observing us with an intensity that mirrored Reese's. Her presence was a stark contrast to the polished elegance of the rail. Lyra smelled of ozone and something wild, something untamed, a scent that spoke of open skies and dangerous freedom. When our eyes met, a flicker of amusement danced within her dark pupils. She offered a small, almost imperceptible nod, and a shiver traced its way down my spine. I'd seen them together, of course, Reese and Lyra. They moved with a practiced ease, a silent understanding that excluded everyone else. They were bound by a shared purpose, a dangerous game played along the edges of the slowdowns, those terrifying moments when the rail faltered, when the intricate mechanisms groaned in protest, and the void pressed close, a hungry darkness threatening to swallow us whole. They were the rail's protectors, its troubleshooters, the ones who ventured into the shadowed underbelly of the train to repair the damage and keep us moving. But their shared purpose felt incomplete, like a beautifully crafted puzzle with a crucial piece missing, a piece I suspected they both wanted to claim. The air between us thickened with each passing mile, charged with a tension that wasn't just about survival. It was about desire, a raw, primal hunger that threatened to consume us all. I felt it in the quickening of my pulse, the tightening of my muscles, the almost painful awareness of my own skin. I'd spent my life adhering to the strict protocols of the rail, maintaining a carefully constructed facade of composure and obedience. But Reese and Lyra, they chipped away at that facade with every glance, every shared word, every stolen moment. I remembered the first time I'd truly noticed Reese. It wasn't his striking features, the strong jawline, the high cheekbones, the silver streak that ran through his dark hair. It was the way his hands moved when he worked, precise and deliberate, yet possessing a surprising grace. He'd been repairing a damaged conduit near my cabin, and I'd found myself lingering, pretending to read, just to watch him. The scent of metal and electricity had clung to him, a strangely alluring combination. Lyra, on the other hand, had always been a force of nature. I'd overheard snippets of conversations, whispers about her daring exploits during the slowdowns, her uncanny ability to anticipate the rail's malfunctions. She was a legend, a ghost in the machine, and now she was looking at me. As the train lurched violently, throwing me forward against my restraints, the landscape outside blurred into an ethereal haze of swirling colors and distorted shapes. A slowdown, my heart hammered against my ribs. The lights flickered, casting long, dancing shadows across the observation car. A low groan resonated through the rail's structure, a sound that spoke of immense strain. Reese was already moving, his movements fluid and efficient. He barked orders to the engine room crew, his voice calm and authoritative despite the chaos. Lyra was beside him, her eyes scanning the diagnostic displays, her fingers flying across the control panels. I should be assisting, offering what little support I could, but I found myself frozen, captivated by the intensity of their collaboration. The way their bodies moved in sync, the unspoken communication that passed between them. It was a dance of danger and precision, a testament to their skill and their unwavering dedication. And then Reese's gaze met mine again. This time there was something different in his eyes. A flicker of recognition, a hint of invitation. He didn't look away. He held my gaze, and for a fleeting moment I felt a connection, a spark of something undeniable. Lyra's voice cut through the tension. Elara, check the auxiliary power relays in Sector Gamma, now. Her tone was sharp, demanding, but beneath the urgency I detected a subtle undercurrent of something else. A test, a challenge. I nodded, forcing myself to move. As I navigated the labyrinthine corridors of the rail, my mind raced. My carefully constructed world was about to unravel. The life I'd always known, the safety and security of the velvet-lined walls, was crumbling around me, and I wasn't sure I wanted to resist. The thought sent a thrill of both fear and exhilaration through my veins. Perhaps containment wasn't what I desired after all. Perhaps I was meant for something more, something dangerous, something wild. Perhaps I was meant to be a part of their game. Perhaps I was meant to be with them. I reached Sector Gamma, the air thick with the smell of burning wires and ozone. The relays were sparking, threatening to overload the entire system. As I began to work, my hands trembling slightly, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was no longer just repairing a machine. I was repairing my own destiny, and I had a feeling that destiny was inextricably linked to the storm cloud eyes of Reese and the untamed spirit of Lyra.